Welcome to Martial Arts Heritage Archive, where we decode the truths behind legends. If you're serious about training smart, thinking deep, and honoring real combat lineage, subscribe now. Because this channel isn't about fantasy, it's about facts. And today, we're going inside the actual training logs of Bruce Lee. Forget the myth, forget the movies. Let's talk about the man who wrote everything down. Bruce Lee didn't just punch harder, kick faster, or move smoother. He outworked, outthought, and outrecorded nearly everyone around him. His notebooks weren't showpieces, they were blueprints. Filled with routines, diets, drills, and personal insights, they reveal a body and mind designed like a high-performance machine. Long before data-driven fitness was popular, Bruce Lee was tracking every variable: heart rate, nutrition, sleep quality, physical response, and mental clarity. He believed your body wasn't a temple, it was a lab, and he treated it like one. Let's start with his daily conditioning. Bruce ran 3 to 5 miles almost every morning. He varied the pace, tracked his time, and noted how his breathing and stride affected his energy for the rest of the day. He understood that endurance wasn't just about lungs, it was about rhythm and recovery under pressure. He'd often follow that run with jump rope, cycling, and shadowboxing. These sessions weren't about burning calories. They were about precision, timing, and technical endurance. He'd shadowbox in front of a mirror to adjust his foot placement, hand alignment, and flow from one technique to another. His logs mention intervals too, fast bursts followed by controlled movement. What we now call HIIT was already in Bruce Lee's program. But he didn't do it for aesthetics. He did it because it made him harder to hit and faster to respond. Strength work came next. Bruce wasn't chasing a pump, he was chasing power. He performed compound lifts like clean and presses, squats, barbell curls, and bench presses. But the weight was secondary. Control, speed, and explosiveness mattered more. He wanted strength that translated directly into strikes. One of his core concepts was neuromuscular efficiency, training the body to fire muscles in the correct sequence. That's why he used explosive lifts, combined with isometrics, static holds that build raw power in specific joint angles. One of his favorite isometric drills? The towel twist. Holding a towel tight at shoulder height and twisting with maximal force for time. Brutally simple, devastatingly effective. He applied this to grip, shoulders, and trunk, 3 critical zones for fighters. He also built his own tools. A grip strength roller made from steel and rope. A homemade speed bag rig in his garage. A neck harness with adjustable weights. He even recorded the number of rotations or reps he could do, setting weekly goals. His journals were filled with entries like grip roll, 30 turns in 60 seconds, or front neck hold, 15 pounds, 2 sets, 10 seconds. Bruce was one of the first martial artists to train his neck intentionally. He understood that a strong neck prevented concussions, stabilized the spine during strikes, and increased overall durability. Now it's a standard in MMA, but Bruce was doing it without any model to copy. His flexibility routine was another masterpiece. Morning splits, evening static stretches, and dynamic drills between strength sets. He didn't treat stretching as optional. It was built into his lifestyle. He could throw a hook kick at eye level from a standing position, not just because he stretched, but because he made flexibility explosive. And while all of this sounds like a full-time job, Bruce made it more than that. He trained with intensity, but also with reflection. His logs include phrases like, legs tight today, stretch deeper before squats, or arms sluggish, cut isometric time tomorrow. He wasn't rigid, he was responsive. His food tracking was equally meticulous. Bruce broke down his daily meals by content and effect. He favored protein-dense foods, high-fiber carbs, and nutrient-packed vegetables. Chicken, eggs, tofu, rice, carrots, leafy greens, fruit smoothies. No sugar bombs, no processed garbage. His shakes often included raw eggs, powdered milk, peanut butter, banana, wheat germ, brewer's yeast, and honey. These combinations weren't based on trends, they were based on performance. If he felt sharp after a meal, he'd replicate it. If he felt sluggish, he adjusted. He used supplements too. Vitamin C, lecithin granules. Ginseng for energy. Royal jelly for immune support. Today, these are common, but back then they were fringe. Bruce was exploring East Asian and Western nutritional science long before it became standard. He also fasted occasionally, not for weight loss, but for clarity. His notes mention fasting for half a day to reset digestion or sharpen his focus. He treated food not as entertainment, but as information. Recovery was another layer. He believed training without recovery was reckless. He wrote, "Fatigue dulls focus. Focus is everything." He tracked his sleep, noting rest quality, dreams, and how rested he felt before training. If his metrics were off, he'd adjust workload. Bruce was also deeply invested in mental training. His logs include affirmations, visualizations, and quotes from philosophy, psychology, and combat texts. One note reads, "Training without presence is imitation. Training with presence is transformation." He meditated often, practicing breathwork, visualization, and quiet time. Not for spirituality, but for mental control. He believed the mind must be faster than the body, or the body will betray you under stress. One overlooked but powerful part of Bruce's training: reaction timing. He built drills with flashing lights, timers, and sudden stimulus cues. He once tied a tennis ball to a string and practiced dodging it by head movement alone. His goal was simple: act without thinking. He used film, actual 8mm footage, to break down his own movements. He'd watch his kicks frame by frame, adjusting how his hips rotated, how his stance transitioned, how his non-kicking leg stabilized his posture. Imagine that. No coaches. No slow-mo replays. Just pure obsession. And still, Bruce kept learning. He didn't settle. His routines evolved constantly. From 1967 to 1973, his logs show shifting rep ranges, new exercises, and changes in timing, frequency, and goals. He was never satisfied. He was never static. This constant refinement is what modern trainers call auto-regulation, adjusting your plan in real time based on your feedback. Bruce was doing it with pen and paper, listening to his body before anyone was teaching that method. The comparison to today's elite athletes is unavoidable. Georges St-Pierre, Demetrius Johnson, and countless others reference Bruce not just for inspiration, but for methodology. GSP has said Bruce's writings made him rethink how he trained. Less dogma, more discovery. Firas Zahabi, one of MMA's top coaches, has compared Bruce's training logs to what high-level athletes now get from biometric data and performance labs. The difference? Bruce did it alone. No team. No tech. Just iron, ink, and intensity. The reason Bruce's system endures is because it wasn't a system. It was a mindset. Everything was data. Everything was subject to change, and everything had to serve a purpose. No wasted reps, no wasted meals, no wasted thoughts. That's why his influence is more relevant now than ever. In a world of flashy workouts, fake supplements, and algorithm-driven routines, Bruce's training reminds us that results come from reflection, repetition, and ruthless honesty. And that's why this isn't just a biography, it's a challenge. If you're training, ask yourself, are you doing what works or what you were told? Are you tracking your progress or just guessing? Are you practicing with presence or going through motions? Bruce left us the answers. We just have to open the notebook. This is Martial Arts Heritage Archive. If you want content that doesn't water down history or your training, subscribe now. Every week, we uncover what legends really did, so you can train with truth, not trend. Stick around and see what's next in the archive.